Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tulsi Gabbard looked like she has fallen out of favor with Donald Trump. It was a week ago she said, after doing the intelligence, she did not find that Iran had developed a nuclear weapon. And Donald Trump pretty much dragged her and said she don't know what she's talking about. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the same woman that used to be part of the Democratic Party and left to go to the Republican Party. She said she left because the Democratic Party was anti-white. That's what she said. And when she was campaigning to be president, she was all for reparations. When she fell out of favor with the Democratic Party and she left, she became anti reparations. So what's happening to her today? I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. So once Donald Trump is looking at you sideways, you can pretty much say her days are numbered. She won't be there too much longer. They said she is no longer included in meetings and they are blocking her from testifying on Capitol Hill. So they're silencing her. So the next step is to give her the boot. And you can best believe if Donald Trump is excluding her, it will probably be a matter of weeks and she will be completely out of her position as director of the national security. So he does not like her anymore. And whatever Donald Trump don't like, the rest of them are going to follow. So these Republicans are also joining Donald Trump and pushing her out. You would think some people would have learned from Donald Trump's first administration. In his first administration, people were leaving like a revolving door. He couldn't keep people. Either they were getting fired or they left on their own. But it was a high turnover rate in his first administration. So you really believed if you gave up your seat in Congress and joined Donald Trump's cabinet that it was going to be an easy ride for you? Well, I guess she's learning otherwise now. Y'all, let's get into this story. Republican senators propose slashing size of Intel office led by Tulsi Gabbard. A bill by Senator Tom Cotton would cut the office of the Director of National Intelligence by 60%. The move comes as Gabbard appears to have fallen out of favor in the Trump administration. A top Republican senator is proposing a sweeping overhaul of the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, slashing the workforce of an organization that has expanded since it was created in the wake of the September 11 attacks. Under a bill by Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, the chair of the Intelligence Committee, the ODNI's staff of about 1,600 would be capped at 650, according to a senior Senate aide familiar with the proposed legislation. ODNI's workforce was about 2,000 in January. But National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard has already overseen a reduction of about 20% as part of the Trump administration's drive to shrink the federal workforce. The reduction in the staff Gabbard oversees could weaken her role in the intelligence bureaucracy at a time when she appears to have fallen out of favor with the White House. The Senate staffer, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, said that Cotton and other Republican senators have been working on the proposed reform for months and that their effort preceded Gabbard's appointment. Cotton declined to comment. An ODNE official said Gabbard and her staff have been holding discussions for months with congressional staff members about plans for extensive reforms and cuts at the agency. All parties are interested in advancing reforms that refocus ODNI on its core, national security mission, the official said. The official did not comment directly on Cotton's bill, but the official wrote in a message that Gabbard has detailed plans to make the ODNI more efficient and that there will be more announcements to this effect coming soon. Find another agency who has reduced 25% of their workforce in 4 months on the job, saved millions of dollars in taxpayer money, and developed organization-wide reform plans that set the example for all IC intelligence community elements to emulate, the official said. Cotton praised Gabbard in April after she announced a 25% reduction in staffing. Although lawmakers from both parties have suggested the ODNI should be reformed, it's not clear whether Cotton's bill will secure sufficient support to proceed and whether the Trump administration will endorse the proposal. Senior Trump administration officials held a classified briefing Thursday for senators on the U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General Dan Kane, briefed the lawmakers, but Gabbard did not take part. A senior administration official said Gabbard was focused on her role as Director of National Intelligence and played down the fact that she was not part of the group that met with senators. President Donald Trump appears to have sidelined Gabbard in recent months, NBC News has reported. But allies of Gabbard, a former Democratic congresswoman, say that even though there is some friction with the White House, the tension has been overstated. Created after September 11th. The attacks of September 11, 2001, exposed a failure to share information across spy agencies with catastrophic results. As a result, Congress established the ODNI to oversee all of the country's 18 intelligence services, including the CIA, and manage bureaucratic turf wars from a complex outside Washington, D.C. What started as a relatively small office under the National Intelligence Director in 2005 has expanded over the last 20 years to include in-house analysis teams and centers focused on counterterrorism and counterintelligence. Cotton has described the ODNI as a bloated bureaucracy that should return to its original mission of coordinating the work of other spy agencies instead of producing its own reports and duplicating other agencies' efforts. Congress in no way wanted yet another unruly bureaucracy layered on top of an already bureaucratic intelligence community, Cotton said at Gabbard's confirmation hearing in late January. Unfortunately, 20 years later, that's exactly what the ODNI has become. Gabbard herself expressed support for downsizing the ODNI's workforce at the hearing, saying she would work with Cotton and other lawmakers to eliminate redundancies and bloating. Centers shifted to other agencies. The bill, known as the Intelligence Community Efficiency and Effectiveness Act, would shift a counterterrorism center to the FBI and a center on proliferation and biosecurity to the CIA. The ODNI's National Intelligence Council, which oversees analyses across U.S. spy agencies, would no longer draft intelligence analyses. Instead, it would coordinate the reports created by other elements of the intelligence community. The ODNI would no longer have centers focused on specific threats or subjects, such as a Climate Security Advisory Council. The Foreign Malign Influence Center, which has overseen efforts across the federal government to track efforts by Russia and other adversaries to try to interfere in U.S. elections and decision-making, would also be eliminated. Many of the ODNI employees who would be cut would return to their home agencies in the intelligence community, the Senate staffer said. The 650 or so who remain there would be considered ODNI's top performers. All I got to say is, Tulsi Gabbard, get ready to become a private citizen, because that's what you will be once Donald Trump gets done with you. He's going to lock you out of everything, and you will be gone. Not unless some other administration gives you a chance, but I highly doubt if they will. You're as good as gone. It seems like many of the GOP, they are not feeling you. And that's not a good thing on your part. But for me, I don't care. I really don't care. You're not our problem. And whatever happens, happens. You just gonna have to deal with it, girl. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.